So let me show you another line. This is Dynasty Black Gold. This right here is a wave brush. Love this brush. Lots of different things that you can do with it. Come over to your palette. And there are a couple ways you could do this. You can load it about halfway up with the paint, but you could also just load the tips. All right, nice sharp waves. See that beautiful little wave on the end of that brush? A lot of versatility with this brush. I'm gonna pick up another little color here. So I just have two different blues. And again, like the name says, a wave. You could do a wave with it if you wanted to. But that's pretty predictable, right? So again, come up here, maybe the palm fronds. Need an extra little color. So the way that those are serrated right there on the end will give you that beautiful stroke, almost as if you had 4 brushes in your hand. See how it separates just enough, but if I wanted to, I could push a little bit harder and keep them together, and it just gives you those tiny little separation lines. Beautiful brush, really versatile. Again, the Black Gold by Dynasty. I was thinking of how cool this brush would be for a peacock feather, because it has just enough of a separated line that you saw as we pull the stroke. I can keep it together with a little more pressure. Lighter pressure is going to separate and give me those lines from the brush, from the bristles. So what I'm going to do is slide up. I can come right up here. Again, a little bit of pressure is going to keep them together. Softly lift up on that pressure, and you get the brush to give you the beautiful little separated lines here. I'll come right up here like a peacock feather. See, again, I can ride along the chisel edge on the side, just as if I were using a flat brush. Or I can push out a little bit harder and get these beautiful little strokes for a peacock feather. Okay, great versatile brush. You could use it like a flat, but because you have this, the wave edge to it, you can softly separate those strokes, again, as if you had 4 brushes in your hand, 1 brush doing all that for you. All right, this is a Faux Squirrel Dagger by Dynasty. Love the Faux Squirrel line. Soft enough to use on watercolor paper, mixed media, the fluid acrylics, but I also love to use it with my acrylic paints and sometimes even my oil paints. So I'm just gonna rinse this out, tap it off, pick up some of this beautiful orange color right here, and watch what you can do with the Dagger brush. You get that nice chisel edge right there, and they call it a dagger because it's got that cut to it, right to that tip. So you can use it on the chisel edge. Look how beautiful and thin that line can be. A little bit more pressure, get a nice thicker line. A little bit more paint. You can ride along that to get a horizon line, push a little bit more, get ribbon. Think of long leaves like for an iris, but look, that one load of paint and that beautiful long stroke with that Faux Squirrel Dagger by Dynasty. This is a number 10 Faux Squirrel shader by Dynasty. Again, soft enough that you can use it with your watercolors, fluid acrylics. We're using acrylic paint today, but I've also used it with oil paints and it works beautifully. So nice bounce to this brush. You can push flat, get a nice stroke, but it bounces right to that beautiful chisel edge, giving you a point on a leaf, on a petal, and then again, pull the little vein. Look how beautiful and thin that is. It's got a beautiful little spring back to it. So when you're trying to paint something and adjusting your pressure as you're pushing and then lifting, that brush just bounces back enough. It's almost like it does it itself. You get that beautiful push, spring back, and then slide and glide, almost like you're ice skating on the tippy tips of those bristles, and you get this nice, beautiful little point. So think again about flower petals, ribbon, and look how that pushes but then bounces right back to that chisel edge. And again, that's the number 10 Faux Squirrel Shader by Dynasty. Okay, this is the number 12 Faux Squirrel Wave by Dynasty. Love the way the edge of that brush is, right along that chisel edge. Instead of having a nice flat edge, you have this beautiful wave shape. So when you load that brush, push that paint into the bristles, bring it back up to your canvas, you can get these beautiful separated little strokes. It'd make beautiful ribbon, two-tone. I could put yellow under that, come back with that orange, and get a beautiful shade and shape to the ribbon automatically. That brush will do that for you. But you could also do scroll strokes with it. Look how pretty. You get this nice flat little stroke if you push harder, but the separation, because the teeth on the end of that just gives you that beautiful wave shape. You can slide on the chisel edge just like you do with a lot of the other brushes by Dynasty, the flats, the rounds. But what gives you that nice separated little look is the way that that brush is shaped with the wave end. And again, that's the number 12 Wave by Dynasty Faux Squirrel line. You could use that in your watercolors, your acrylic painting, and also your oil painting. So I showed you a lot of versatile brushes, the Faux Squirrel line in black gold by Dynasty. Showed you all the different ways that you can use those brushes. So much fun. I hope you enjoy creating with them as much as I do.